Someone left a comment a few days ago on an old video that brought up a very interesting point to me. They expressed or suggested that due to internet subcultures, evolutionary psychology, and certain spaces in society, individuals who end up going into the femboy aesthetic or they end up transitioning from male to female are sometimes not motivated by innate gender dysphoria, but because of their desire to be perceived as social or romantic leverage that is possessed by an attractive woman. For example, a lot of men with adult content addiction rewired their framework in their mind that female beauty is viewed as having inherent value in society, which I don't think you need to have an addiction to know that. Beauty privilege is a thing, right? But when you watch adult content and it consumes you, you program your psyche to value a woman strictly based on their beauty, while the male value is often viewed as performance based. So what happens is, as a man, when you feel like you fail to meet the standards of being a man, you oftentimes feel invisible and you lack any social or romantic leverage in society. So if a man feels he cannot succeed in the competition of the male hierarchy, he may look at the female hierarchy, which again is often perceived as inherent value for just simply having female beauty. Male may look at that as more as a accessible route to obtaining love, protection, and value in society. So that's what the comment is saying. I have an opinion about this take, right? And this is not the first time I've seen somebody say something like this. I know where this comment is coming from and what they're trying to say. Okay, so just to preface before I get into my take on this, let's not first discount that this point that they made obviously doesn't apply to everyone who is going through a femboy aesthetic or male to female transition. It's not everyone. Do I feel like some people are going to cope? I believe so. But again, the ones who are not coping and they genuinely, there's something, where they feel this way and they end up going down this pipeline, I'm not really talking about them. But in the case for this specific motivation mentioned, I feel like the pressure we put towards masculinity in today's society is causing negative reactions from people where they feel like they can't hold themselves up to it. And as a survival strategy to escape male loneliness, or the loneliness epidemic, whatever, right? Or having or feeling a lack of value in society, or socially speaking, they will opt into a higher social value path, which is often glorified in feminine identity and characters. I also agree that I do feel like adult content makes this way worse. A beautiful woman can simply be desired in society for just existing. They could have no talent, no skill set, literally nothing. And when they're in adult content, you're more focused on how pretty the woman is, right? She is the center of attention, pleasure. And depending on what you're looking at, she is also the main worship of the adult content that you're consuming. And I don't say that theologically, the word worship. I mean it as, I say worship as in you're literally putting so much focus and energy into the attention that you're giving to this woman for being so beautiful or, attractive or having such high value in this image or video that you're watching, But meanwhile, while you're doing that, the male actor is only being judged for how he's doing what he's doing. If you even care about that, unless you yourself are also paying attention to the man and his attributes, which, that could be a thing. I don't know. Listen, I'm not here to judge that. Okay. But you get what I mean in most cases. Okay. Where the female actress is the center of attention. So frequent consumers of adult content who struggle with their self-esteem, self-value, and feel undesirable as a man outside of just watching this content, this is what they do to sort of cope or deal with their stress or their problems or their loneliness, they may stop identifying with the male character and begin identifying with the female actor in the adult content that they're watching. And then what happens is, if you want to keep what I'm saying simple, suddenly what I think is that the brain goes, okay, simple math. Feminine characteristics rather, equals love/attention. And if you crave love and attention, there goes the pipeline for some to socially integrate themselves into this, where they desire to secure social value and escape the burdens and the pressure of manhood that society pushes. Now, I feel like this whole manosphere thing, or this alpha male and you gotta be a Chad and stuff like that, I feel like that whole culture actually did the opposite effect for a lot of men. This is my opinion. Very unpopular in my opinion. I think this is an unpopular take, but I feel like y'all trying to push masculinity onto people, and you're trying to push this alpha male stuff, and you're trying to, you're putting a lot of societal pressure on people that a lot of people, they don't got it. Hey, they don't, this pressure, it hurts them. It bothers them. They don't feel competitive enough. They don't feel manly enough because they're not fitting to these standards that they're seeing some social media guy do. And now they're like, hey, I give up. Like I'll obtain social value through other means. Now, again, this is not everyone, obviously. This is a specific subset of experiences. And this is obviously up for debate for you guys in the comments. I have an interpretation for this subset, but not for everyone who goes through this pipeline, I actually made a video about this earlier this year. I don't remember what the video is called because I never titled my videos correctly. But when I made this video, when I sort of talked about this subject, a lot of you guys seem to say that you experienced this as well. Or like you were only in your femboy phase or whatever because you were addicted to adult content, or you just craved attention and love at that time period. Some of y'all say you were in a dark place. But then when you finally started getting love and attention, and it was like genuine, it wasn't just someone was giving you attention or love because they were attracted to the feminine characteristics that you had or that you were externalizing onto other people. They loved you or gave you attention because they actually liked you as a human being. That's when you started getting it and started moving away from this stuff. That's what some of you guys were saying in the comments. You know what I'm saying? So you started to revert back to what it was like before this phase. And I don't know if some of you guys watching this also experienced this too. I don't know. Maybe this video was a bit more psychologically into it right from that old video. I'm not a psychologist anyway. I'm just giving my interpretation over the comment. Let me know down below. This episode is found on Spotify and YouTube. I'm out.